Oh, wow. That's a good man.
Oh, for what? Well, it's astonishing. Yeah. Good. That's super. So when did they get down there? Really? Well, I'm glad to hear that. I really am. That's super. I thought you guys were going to be going.
Yeah, third week.
Who knows? Who knows?
We'll get down there one day.
Oh, oh, okay. Kind of same old deal. You never know what's going on with it. Right? Whether she's home or away. Oh, we're glad you're here. I thought I saw Randy somewhere.
You did?
Oh, okay.
You gotta go check on the crying babies.
Oh, did he? Had to go. He had to go. Okay. Just making sure when the spirit walks around now.
He kind of sneaky like that. Turn around.
Matthew 6. We're in Matthew 6. We'll start that today. We got this streaming here this morning. Tiffany's baby doing fine. Both doing good. The kids doing good. Grandparents doing good. Now, you're up to date. And Nanette went down to with Joe yesterday to Ardmore. Gwen's doing okay, and they may have service, some kind of personal services. Certainly don't know, but anyway, everything's going good there, so we're glad, and we're glad Joe got to go down. That's super. So yeah. Randy, would you use some prayer?
Holy Father, give you praise for another day here, Lord, for the chance to study from your word. I ask you to open our hearts and minds to your truth so that we can take from it what you would have us to learn about you and just a deeper understanding of our salvation and your love and grace for us through Jesus. We ask you to bless all of our teachers this morning and all the classes and help them to present to us your truth and help us to be good students of the word. Thank you for this building, this safe place, and this safe country to study in. Thank you for our many blessings you've given us, Christ our Savior. Amen.
Yeah. Also, Jenny came in with a sprained ankle. She's on crutches. I told her since I'm not preaching, I can't have a healing service for her, so my hands are tied. Matthew 6. We'll read the first 4 verses there. Beware of practicing righteousness before men to be noticed by them. Otherwise, you have no reward with your Father who is in heaven. So when you give to the poor, do not sound a trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in synagogues and in the streets, so that they may be honored by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward in full. But when you give to the poor, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving will be in secret, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. We just finished chapter 1. Of course, the first part of that talked about the citizens that are in the kingdom and their character and their nature. And it's interesting when you look at 14, 15, and 16 of chapter 1, it says, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor does anyone light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it should give light to all who are in the house. Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven." Now, we finished 21 through 48 last week. We finished those verses, and it was a contrast between the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. Notice verse 20, "For I say unto you," of chapter 1, "that unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven." And Jesus here is trying to personify and understand that our relationship with God is with the heart. It's a heart relationship. And so really the laws of the kingdom are still the moral laws that started all the way back that we read about in chapter 3 of Genesis. And so he's trying to say that the law has been misquoted and misused and abused by the scribes and Pharisees. That's why he said, "You've heard it was said, but I'm saying to you." Okay? And so when you get to 6, we're still talking about the righteousness. Notice, "Beware of practicing your righteousness." Notice what it says, practicing your righteousness. Beware there is a word that the Greek has to do with listen, pay attention. Okay, take heed, in other words. And that's what Jesus is saying here. I want your full attention. Beware. You need to understand here that practicing your righteousness before men to be what? What does he say here? To be seen by them. Now, what is the first thing that a child begins to do? I mean, there's many things they do, but if you can think about it in the content of this passage, what is it that human nature they try to do?
Show off.
They try to show off. They also like Max will open his mouth and say, "Why? He wants to be noticed that he's ready to eat." That kind of thing, or cry to be noticed. That comes to nature. But as you grow older, they want you to do. They want you to deceive. Don't they? Like Zoe now, wants to show off. Well, all the kids do, but I mean, especially they walk and they begin to say that they want to show off, and so it's kind of human nature to want to be noticed. Okay, but Christ says, "I want to talk to you about the kingdom. Right? It's not like the world. The world is different," and he says, "To practice your righteousness." I like that. Okay, I think King James says alms, maybe here instead of righteousness. Doesn't matter King James, but I think it says alms, but really righteousness is the content of as you read down through chapter 6 rather than alms. Alms has to do with the first few verses, and so this is talking about the righteousness, talking about in 3 areas. It's talking about giving, it's talking about praying, and it's talking about fasting. Okay, the first thing here is giving. He says, "Otherwise you have no reward with your Father who is in heaven." Now, he's talking about what? He's talking about the heart. Okay, everything that we've been talking about has been talking about the heart condition. Okay, and so you can do everything that you can do that is right in the sight of men, but the heart condition is wrong. What does he say? There's no reward. Okay? There's no reward. And there's many that do things just to be seen of him. All right? So notice too, again, when you give to the poor, do not do what? Yeah, do not give attention. All right? Notice, so when you give to the poor, do not sound a trumpet before you as those that Jesus is able to call those hypocrites. You can see their heart. And he knows who they are, what they're doing, what they're supposed to be doing. Doing the synagogue. Now, I don't, in looking at this, I don't know of any occasion other maybe some feast times or something in the marketplace where they would give, or what we would call a fundraiser or something to that effect, where there would be actual trumpets or sounding, something that would sound alarms, so to speak, as someone gave. But there's also a thought that there were supposedly over a dozen of these, I call them containers. I don't know what but they were horn-like and they were trumpet styled, and it would have a long neck in them where you couldn't stick your hand down in there. So men could not reach down in there and get the money, the coins that were deposited. And there was a noise when you drop the, you know, sometimes you hear change being dropped in the plate here, so you know somebody's dropping some change in the plate. Well, normally those were coins that were used back then, and they would drop the coins in this horn-looking container, and you would hear it trickle down to the bottom. And so, if you had 2 or 3 coins, you'd hear tink, 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 you know. But if you were had a handful, it would sound quite a lot, you know, tink, 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 you know, in there. And so, some think that it might have meant that there were those that would drop a lot of coins in, and they would be noticed by the noise. Now there was also, we're in Matthew 6, that's verse 3. There was also a room that was private, and it also had the same kind of container. My understanding, it had the same kind of container or containers in it. And it was usually set up for a specific purpose. For instance, if Donnie and Rhonda's house burnt down, if their house burnt down, they may set up this container, or the container would always be set up that it would be used for a specific purpose, like giving them, helping them rebuild, giving them money to help them out. And it was set up in a private room, and when you went in there, nobody would know what you were giving. Okay? In other words, you could give, trickle 2 or 3 coins, or you could trickle 1,000 coins. Nobody would know. And the interesting thing about that is you didn't know who you were giving to. You would not know that it was Donnie and Ronnie. You would just set up, and the priest would take care of that. Okay? And so it was set up to where they didn't know. In other words, Rhonda and Donnie wouldn't know where the money came from, who gave it, nor would you know who you gave it to. So it was kind of a art kind of thing. You know, we're giving to help whoever, and they were thankful in the content of not knowing that, just say if they had 3 or 4 of us gave it, you know, then they would say thank you. They're just thankful for the Jews for giving. Okay, and so that was something they talk about when they sound the trumpet. That it could be. But there, other than the feast days, I don't know of anything in the synagogues or anything. Myself, I don't know of any time when you gave a coin, somebody sounded the trumpet, or you sounded the trumpet. I thought it could just be medical, but sometimes, okay. Anyway, it's basically saying what? Do it secret, private. Okay. All right. And then it says, and in the streets, so that they may be honored by men. Okay? So that they may be honored by men. And so, truly I say to you, they have their reward at full. What is their reward? 1 and 2 kind of says, you know, you're not going to get any reward if you're doing it to be seen or heard by men. And this one says, you will have a reward, but what is that reward if you do it for men? For me, yeah, that's it. The honor and gratification you get from it. Okay? And so it's like you give and you say, look what I've done here. Here's a check. It's like there's a pay for you see, that's all you get. That's not just look at the heart. That's not acceptable. Okay? That's just not acceptable.
Well, I kind of, I'm just saying, I kind of like that a little different.
Okay.
I think if you're noticed by men for doing a duty like this, and your motivation is to be noticed by men, that's the problem.
Yes, exactly.
Not the fact that you were noticed.
Exactly. That is the problem.
So,
Yeah, and that's what he's talking about. Because that's why I read, let your light shine. Because if you're doing good works and stuff, I was, and I guess I didn't finish, but for parts of y'all, we were reading 14, 15, 16 of chapter 1. And it says, let your light shine. And this says, don't let it come, saying don't let it. But what Chuck just said is exactly what it means, you know. Go out and conduct Christian character, but he's not saying that, you know, if someone is needing help and you go write them a check, you can walk up and give it to them. It's your heart condition, right? That's not what it's saying at all.
Saying turn your light on. Don't shine into people's eyes and go, look how bright my light is.
There you go. That's good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Right. So, that's good checking. Glad you brought that up. That's what he's saying, okay? Again, if we keep in mind, we're talking about heart condition here. You know, God looks at the heart, and that's what he judges by. And then 3 says, but when you give to the poor, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. We've heard that a lot. We even say that, you know. What does that mean? What do you think that means?
I think that's kind of a test to you yourself. That as you said, am I doing this to please man or something?
Yeah.
That's kind of a test.
Yeah.
I don't think he's talking about must be in secret.
No, he's not here. But it's kind of hard for your brain to say, left hand don't know what my right hand is, right? So it would have to be used as a kind of technology. Yeah. Okay. But also, if you think about it, if I'm gonna hand, let's just say your house is, I'm just gonna hand a $100 bill. You probably wouldn't know this if I just walked up there and said, "Here like this," you know. But you would know this if I took a check like this and handed it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's kind of saying that yeah. 4 says, so that your giving will be in secret, and your Father who sees what your right hand, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Again, we're talking about the heart condition. Now, we're going to go down through 7. We're not going to start with 8. We'll talk about the model prayer. It's called the Lord's Prayer, model prayer. We'll talk about that next week. But I want to go ahead and somebody read 5, 6, 7. We'll talk about that.
When you pray, you shall not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray, standing in the synagogues and on the corners of the streets, that they may be seen by men. Assuredly, I say to you, they have their reward. But you, when you pray, go into your room, and when you have shut your door, pray to your Father who is in the secret place. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. But when you pray, do not use vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they will be heard for their many words.
Okay. Well, go ahead and read 8.
Therefore, do not be like them, for your Father knows the things you need, that you have need of before you ask Him.
Okay. So, it's interesting. Have you seen, I think all of us have seen, you don't see it near as much anymore, at least around here, but you've seen people when you go downtown or something, there'd be people with signs up that they praise God, and I mean, well, whatever. They may have John 3:16, they may say something like, you don't accept Jesus, you're going to hell. I mean, they actually put that on us, but it's for something to that effect. They have stuff and signs, and they may even be hollering. They may hold a sign up and holler at you. Is that kind of, what do you think about that? You ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about, boy, those people are really religious? Or have you thought, well, those people are way out there? You must be heathen or something. What's your thoughts about those?
They're wanting attention. It's just like that group of Kansas that protested.
Westboro Baptist?
They're wanting attention.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't be anything further from what you would call a Christian. Could they? I mean, everything they do is just ridiculous. Opposite.
Well, it's not teaching. What they're doing is not teaching.
Yeah.
Right. It's not benefiting anybody except themselves, maybe. Getting people to look, like Johnny said, get people to look at it. It's what benefits you.
It's almost a turnoff. I mean, even those who aren't, especially those who aren't very religious, they're not going to listen to it anyway. They're going to do it totally done. But it's almost a turnoff. If you're a Christian, you won't want to act like one day, but it's just kind of a turnoff. I always wonder, where are they on Sunday morning? Well, what are they actually doing for God, understanding their what I would call, and this is their school. I don't know. But what the Jews prayed 3 times a day, at 9, noon, and 3. Okay. And oftentimes when it was time to pray, wherever they were, they would stop. It wasn't necessarily like they would be 5 behind them and hurry to the temple or synagogue. They would do what? They would stop what they were doing. If they're outdoors, they're stopping and pray. Sometimes they would have their hands up, praying to God, okay? Now, if that was done with the proper heart, that's okay. But at other times, if they were just praying on the street corner, and they were especially praying out loud, that would be seen as what? Men. Okay? Because if it wasn't the seen of men, what is God basically saying here? he's not saying run it home. I mean, he says, you know, go to your inner room, close the door. Now, that's if you're in your house. But if you're not in your house and you want to pray, there's nothing wrong with that. But he's not telling you to hurry, run to your house, get in the inner room. What's he saying? Do that somewhere where it's not going to be seen. And there's plenty of places that you can do that. Exactly. I think, and that's good, because that's kind of what Aid is saying. Like, you already know where you are, what you're doing, and what you need. You don't have to ask. I'm sorry.
You don't have to make the scene.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to make a scene. Okay? And that's what he's saying here. And on the street corners, so they may be seen by men. And then he says again, their reward is in full, is paid full again. What reward are they going to get again? Attention. From men. You get their whole glory, their whole paid in full is from what? Men. Okay. Not from God.
Probably gonna be a one-person comment.
Okay, Donnie already.
No, I'm not doing it. I think of these verses quite often when I see people. But I think that's plenty of restaurants.
Well, again, I think it's to be done with the proper attitude.
No question about that, but, no question.
Yeah.
It's hard not to be seen by me, and no attention. That's it.
Well,
Nothing wrong with that, as long as that's not your motivation.
yeah, and you're usually sitting down. I mean, it's not like you're standing there trying to draw attention, but you're sitting down. Now, let me tell you, I've heard that before. Let me tell you, if you feel that way, that's okay. If you feel that way, I don't necessarily feel like that's a problem. But if you do, have a prayer in the car. Or before you go in. You know, and a lot of people do that. Sometimes we do if we know that we're going to be with people that don't pray for their food. Sometimes we'll have a prayer in the car. Before we go in, you know. Now, we don't do that. We do that in restaurants, but we don't do that if we're going into, like, you know, I'm going into eat with like credit union people or something. You know, that I wouldn't go in there and do that in the middle of everybody else sitting around. We don't do that. We do it in the car. We would afterwards. We don't do it at all. You know, I mean, there are times when.
Well, you can pray for you can, you know, pray without ceasing. You can pray without actually stopping and bowing your head.
Right.
And open your hands.
You could just, I've seen a lot of people, even in restaurants, they'll just, you know, put their hands aside or just throw take on the other head. You know that they're praying, but they don't make a sense. It makes this one sit down. You don't have to do a word thing out loud. Right? So, I was, we were in a restaurant 59 years, so maybe a couple years ago. I think we were in Arkansas. We were in a booth when we had to put a prayer for our food. And this couple, while we were eating, I mean, it was probably about half through eating, and they were leaving, and they come by. They introduced themselves and put their hand out to me and shook their hand. She was talking to Vicki, and he talked to me. He was talking, well, I didn't know who or what they were wanting, you know. So they said, you know, we saw y'all praying. Thank you. Would be an example, which shocked me. I'll be honest, shocked me. And so, it was about a year ago. Just like, I don't know where we were. It was here in the city. Anyway, they said, right, just we were eating at the time. We looked over, and they wrapped their hands across the table. Prayer. I couldn't hear. So I thought, that is neat. So I got up after it was over, I went over there, introduced myself, shook my hand. I said, I want to tell you, I appreciate you being this kind of example because we're losing that in this country. People are scared to say they're Christian or pray in the name of Christ. There's more no. You can see the glow all over there, like people never expected that, but it was the same effect it had on us. You know, that's the only time it's happened to us, you know, but it was just so, I just couldn't believe somebody would stop and come over and say, you think you can be careful. But Chuck brings up a good point. You know, that's the way you feel. But, normally, I don't hear very many people praying. You see people praying, but I don't hear them actually making.
No, I'm not saying that makes sense, but.
No, I know, but
Just like, two examples you gave there, those gracious will sing about the judgment. I think often about Jesus' phrase, always went on. We didn't say, okay, I get around this, you know, really have conversation with God. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but he also has a public purpose too. And see, here,
Just go down and think about it.
yeah, and see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. What kind of prayer do we have when we come here? It's a group. Yeah. And so the prayer that, for instance, that Randy led this morning is a prayer for not him. It's a prayer for us.
They were all supposed to be participating.
Yeah, and he's supposed to, he wouldn't be praying, Lord, thank you for the card you gave me last night, or anything, you know. He's saying, thank you for the opportunity we have gathered. We as a family can study the word. He's praying for all of us, so as it is we did. Now, if Randy was to get up and just start praying for him and his family and what he wants, that's what we've seen him in. We wouldn't do that in a public setting. You know, that's an eye prayer. And so,
So public prayers in front of the football game. Right?
Mhm.
I don't see that as opposed to.
no, it's not. It's not. I agree with that. But you would if,
Well, it all comes down to
Someone-
your heart. dude.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
motivation. Why are you doing it? It doesn't say, don't be seen of men when you pray. It says, don't pray to be seen of men.
Right.
Don't do it just.
You're doing it to please me, and that's
Right.
well, some try to use this to say you shouldn't pray unless you're in a closet somewhere. That's not what I'm saying at all.
no, the point, I think this is my point here.
Donnie didn't explain it to you very well, did he?
Maybe it's not really not, but it seems sometimes that they do it, I can't talk to their motives, but,
Right.
but it's almost like, have you ever been at a table of men, maybe a business meeting or whatever, and one guy makes it a point to obviously he has a solid prayer, but it's very obvious, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And again, there's nothing wrong with praying like that. That's not my point here, but it's almost like, what's this, you know, like, this is what you want to do. You know what I mean? The attitude that comes across sometimes. Well, I think there's a way to do that without even going against it yourself. I mean, you probably say you pray in all kinds of instances, and building that included, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was
Again, you
the
can't
point.
see the heart, but sometimes you need you to, your heart's right. And that's why I said, if I was with a bunch of people, you guys would be first, but if I was with a bunch of people, that aren't normally Christian glory, yeah, I would do that. I would even do that. I would even bow my head for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I would-
I mean,
If I can pray, I can sit here looking you in the eyes, and in my mind, I can be praying.
That's,
Yeah.
You don't never know.
that's fine.
exactly.
But there are some people who just feel like they need to. And I mean, if they feel comfortable doing that, as long as their heart is right, there's nothing wrong with it. If you're not comfortable doing that, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yourself.
The best thing is to, before you sit down, say, don't look over here or anything. Just- What I-
Distract
Yeah.
That's kind of what I do, so I don't look like that.
We're gonna show you an example we don't want you to see.
Yeah.
We're gonna pray.
No, Just whatever y'all do, don't look over here. I don't want y'all to think. But yeah, if it's quiet, we just, it's a habit with us, and we just do it, and it's quick, and it's, I don't know if anybody, I've never seen anybody, staring us down.
Well, that's another thing. You can do it quick. All you have to do is pray for food. You don't have to pray for
No,
the
we're not
neighborhood.
wrong, yeah.
You don't have to pray for what?
You don't have to pray for your whole neighborhood and everything. Just pray for your food.
Pray for these people here that I didn't pray for them.
Let me ask you this, I'm gonna be a little controversial, like, Chuck, but going back to,
Donnie and Hannah listen.
yeah. Going back to 6:1, where, do not do your charitable gifts before men. What do you think about people wearing t-shirts after they've done charitable events? You know what I'm saying, it's almost like bragging, like with my baseball. You know,
Kind of like I gave blood today.
well, not necessarily that, but like what is a charitable run or, something
Uh-huh.
for, and it's almost a charity.
Yeah.
And then wear the t-shirt around it, more or less for me, but how does,
Like to have that. I always kind of wondered why that $20 for that t-shirt is good for the trip.
well, yeah, exactly, I thought that, I mean, that's all in the same, doing things to be noticed, because you're wearing that shirt, you notice.
Well, if I wear the shirt, I'll just tell you what I do. I still think it's a hard thing, but if I we did the run to Lilyville here a few years ago, and you donated, I guess it was $20, and participated in the run or the walk. You got a T-shirt that had Lilyville. I wore that shirt to expose Lilyville. I didn't wear that shirt to say I gave. I didn't say anything about giving $20 or anything like that. It just said Lilyville. I don't remember what it said, 5 Mile Run or whatever it was. And it had some sponsors in the back or something like that. Now, if the T-shirt read something like, I gave my $20 to Lilyville, I may not even wear that shirt. It would just depend. But I don't think many people give a $20 bill just to get a T-shirt to wear and say I gave. They may, but it's still a hard thing. And then I think if you don't feel like it's right, you don't do it. You just don't do it.
Now, are you proud of what you did in your heart, or are you proud of what you did? So other people can see?
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, there are, I was, this is not, if you think, or Trevor, one of you, this was this is not a political endorsement. I don't mean to do that way. But the mayor really, he's really Rudy. Now it's understand. Giuliani.
Giuliani.
He was on, I was watching it on Austin Bridge. And, we were watching, and he was talking about, I don't know if he's been friends all across the board, they work together. And he said, people don't know this, but when a catastrophe happens, or the city needs something, or something specific, like something happened again, or something that really needs assistance, not from, get money and say, I don't, people don't know, but you see, the city, you owe a lot of money, they never got credit for it. He didn't have to say that, but I thought, that's interesting. Because he is so, you would think he was the opposite of that, right? Look what I did, because he's got his name on everything he does, But I thought that's interesting.
That's all that comes here, man. I thought that could be,
It doesn't sound like
This
it.
character that you don't see, you don't, like you say, you don't picture him.
Yeah, because he's so opposite. I mean, his character is just so opposite that, But I thought of that, I thought, that's really interesting that, and of course his daughter said he's having a lot. He's flown somebody, I can't remember here, they talked about, somebody needed an airplane ride for some reason, and, the government wasn't going to help him. And so he heard about it. I think it was one of the military. Yeah, and the military wasn't going to transport them. They were just kind of on their own and kind of like left on the tarmac and what. But anyway, it was interesting because he killed the pilot go out here. You don't hear that.
There are people that have money and that includes it.
Yeah.
On the George, he has money.
Yeah.
It really is. And if you haven't experienced that,
That's true.
you don't.
I like receiving. Yeah, that is true. You always feel good, don't you?
If you want to be happy, just know in my house. You do us both a favor.
Better to give and receive, seven times with time.
I bet you've been over it. I know you've been, no question about that. Third, fourth.
Well,
Ernie's pretty quick.
anyway, appreciate that. Appreciate comments. I hope we've kind of, I think we knew, but I hope we've kind of reviewed enough. The way these scriptures are used, just like the ones we just studied, they're so abused today, Like the slugging, if I slug Donnie in the right cheek, first turn to the left, but that's not what it says in the game. So anyway, I appreciate it very much. We'll pick up with a prayer.
Hey, Chuck, that question about the Grand Restaurant, right before you asked his mom to ask me. You're on your own.
Now they're still streaming, so you got to. Did I say that? Nobody was playing at that floor. They did.
Yeah. I cannot believe.
Good to see you guys today.
Y'all doing good.
Good, man. How you doing?
Get them with you. No.
Oh my.
Okay.
Yeah.